Hello, everybody. It's my pleasure to moderate our session on education paths for navigating your journey from academics to a career in the insurance industry. As you think about your career path, we're here to offer some insights on how to align your passion and interests with the many unique roles in the insurance industry. I'm Kathy Hendrickson. I'm the director of the UConn School of Business Career Development Office. And part of my mission to students is to bring joy into the career search. So we're going to give you some insight here today to help you with that. I want you to think about what you know about the insurance industry right now and realize that there are jobs that exist today that did not exist 2 years ago. There are so many opportunities that are opening up. It's exciting to look at this as a future path. So this segment is actually a snapshot of the journey from academics to graduation. We'll present the point of view from career development, analytics, and we have 2 UConn alumni joining us who are also professionals in the insurance industry. Your career exploration starts as early as high school, and you'll find that meeting with community leaders and peers about their first jobs after college will help to see you a path that might open up some interesting areas. UConn partners with highly successful programs such as Traveler's Edge, which is a program that's been around since about 2007. And it's a holistic approach to college and career readiness for underrepresented students. So that's one example of community engagement. The connections you make in college are going to set the framework for you for next steps to be business professionals in all of the areas. So to start us off, Mick is going to share some examples of some of the really cool jobs that our students have landed over the last several years in the insurance industry. And then we have Leah, who is going to walk us through a complete career change that she did in auditing insurance companies to actually recruiting for them, and all as a UConn alum. And then Mark's going to bring it home for us as a UConn alumni, the manager of the university recruiting team at an insurance company, and the person that I reach out to quite often, I have to tell you, to help students see the joy and the excitement of working in this industry. So I'm going to take a step back and put myself on mute, and Mick, why don't you take us from there?
Absolutely. Thank you, Kathy, for that wonderful introduction, and welcome students and another great opportunity here to learn further on NextGen Career Academy. I'd like to give you a little bit of insight in analytics. Again, my name is Mick Montfetrick. I work with the School of Business in the Career Development Office space. And a lot of my focus area is where the jobs are for students when it comes to internships as well as full-time jobs. And better believe that this industry, being in insurance, has a plethora of opportunities and different pathways and segues that you can take to great careers for the next 30 years here in the Connecticut market and also throughout the United States. Some of the programs that many of our UConn fellow Huskies, as well as other students throughout the state that have been hired by great leading industry insurers, have been programs in data analytics, operations, underwriting, including even sales, but also in a growing segment in the technology space for tech LDP programs, early career training programs, and rotational programs that are honed in for internships, but also for full-time opportunities. These are some great, exciting, career paths that you may have in the near future. Hopefully, if you decide to explore, and I hope you do, because we have 2 great representatives here today, Leah Delorenzo and Mark Turek, that could also give you insight about ways that you can explore the potential option of being part of the industry and the insurance space, including shadowing opportunities early on in your career to really start that process to know, is this potentially the right fit for me? Do I see myself having a future in this industry? Because the future is absolutely now. It's one of the strongest times in the market where we're seeing actually a population of retirees moving out of the industry and creating new space as well in the industry. So over 500,000 folks will be retiring within the next few years from the insurance sector, according to the Federal Department of Labor and their statistics. So I want you to know that that is a great opportunity for you to learn about the potential key roles, as well as how to get involved from these 2 folks here today, Mark Turek and Leah Delorenzo. So at this point, I'd like to transition to Mark. Please feel free to to Leah rather, and take it away.
Sure. Awesome.
Sure is a quick session, isn't it?
All right, Mick and Kathy, thank you for having us. As both Mick and Kathy have mentioned, my name is Leah Delorenzo. I work at the Hartford. I've been here for a little over a year now, and I'm a recruiter on the university relations team. I recruit for quite a few different roles, specifically within the areas of underwriting, a couple of our leadership development rotational programs, such as finance, marketing, and product, claims, a bunch of other roles here that we have at the Hartford. So my career journey is anything but linear. I actually, as Kathy had mentioned earlier, I'm a UConn alumni. I was a accounting degree when I was at UConn, a School of Business alumni. So I love coming back and recruiting students from there. But I actually started my career at one of the big four firms as an auditor, working in the financial services department. So I was recruiting for insurance companies. I quickly realized that accounting wasn't necessarily the field I wanted to stay in forever. And I leveraged the knowledge that I had of the industry to transition my career into a more social environment, and I became a recruiter. I worked at a staffing agency for a bit and then transitioned over to corporate recruiting, worked in the insurance industry, built an internship program from the ground up, and eventually landed myself at the Hartford, and have been here and loved it ever since. So anything else you want me to touch on before I pass it over to Mark?
No, I think that's a great transition, because what you did is you just showed us, all different options, but, it's exciting to see the different paths that you can take.
Definitely.
All right, Mark.
My turn.
Thanks, Leah.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Mick. So my name is Mark Turek. I am the manager of university relations here at the Hartford. I've been working for this wonderful company for just about 9 years now, 7 of which I've spent in the early career space, building strategies, recruiting students, building on-campus relationships, working very closely with Kathy and Mick and others at the University of Connecticut to create pathways into an industry that is part of the fabric of the state of Connecticut. Hartford was once known as the insurance capital of the world. I still think it is to some degree. But part of what we do in our role here as recruiters and relationship builders out on campus is to create interest in an industry that might not be on the top of the list for current college students, and showing them different opportunities that exist in this industry, that exist in others that might be very highly sought after, and opening those doors to those students to bring them into our world and show them the wonderful, long, stable careers that they can have at a company that's been open for 2 centuries, like the Hartford, and in an industry that's been around for as long as anybody could probably remember, right? So I'm a UConn alum, as well, as Kathy mentioned before. I'm actually a 2004 graduate of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. So I'm a little bit of a different one, right? One of the things that I love getting on campus and talking about is taking a liberal arts degree and shifting it into a business-oriented career in our world, and bringing students through my journey to get to this point. I was an economics major. Some of the resources that we had in that world aren't the same as what Leah experienced as an accounting major at UConn, with the influx of big 4 companies on campus and opportunities that are essentially put out on a silver platter for college students. So us liberal arts students need to kind of claw our way into some different opportunities, and use some roundabout ways to get ourselves to our ultimate goal of getting into the corporate world and getting into a position like I've had the joy of having over the last 15 years of my career as a recruiter and now recruiting manager. So that's a little bit about me. I'm excited to talk a little bit more about some of those opportunities a little later in the conversation. So I'll kick it back over to you, Kathy.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Leah. And thanks, Mick. I mean, this is just part of an overall session that they're hosting today. And what I loved about the ability that we were able to talk about the education path is, we've shown with Leah and Mark, you can take very different experiences to get from college to career. And in the insurance industry, in data analytics, in human resources, in marketing, in in all of the different areas. They're really interesting roles that are going to they're going to teach you and show you the excitement of the industry. So we encourage all of you to pay attention to those roles and think about any kind of questions that we can help you with. I think we have 1 minute left. Last thoughts, Mark, on what you see students having the most fun with?
So Mick mentioned before data and analytics. I think some of the most fascinating work that I've seen in our world is in data modeling and consuming the amount of data that is available in the insurance world. I mean, I mentioned we're a 210-year-old company. We go back to the time when data was probably recorded on scrolls with feather pens, right? And now we're at a point where we're using things like, big data tools like Hadoop and Apache and other things like that to do some pretty insane modeling. We can even trickle into the world that Leah lives in her recruitment expertise in underwriting, and think about things like kidnap and ransom insurance, credit and political risk insurance, executive liability, and some of these very, very specialized policies that exist out there. Oftentimes the stereotype that we're trying to get past is it's not just auto and homeowners insurance. It's not necessarily, there are transactional products in our industry, but there are extremely specialized products that require some heavy product management, price modeling, and profit and loss management, a lot of marketing and branding. There is a DE&I arm to that and a social responsibility arm to that recruitment aspect of getting out into the community and understanding the customers that we're supporting. There is, pulling in all of the data. How do we create better products to better serve those customers? How can we react in times of need? We hear all about Hurricane Ian and how that has impacted Florida. How do we get down there with our customers? We have mobile response unit. We have all of these aspects that when we open the door to what our company and our industry is all about to students, it's eye-opening moment after eye-opening moment that they don't realize. And we hear this from our interns all the time. I never would have thought as a marketing student coming into an insurance company, I'd be working on what I would be working on this summer. I thought I would just be talking to customers about buying policies with us. Meanwhile, they're working on analytics and other things like that. So if there's one thing I can say to students who are thinking about where they want to go afterwards, don't forget about the insurance industry. Ask questions, talk to people like me and Leah, do your research, because I can guarantee you the things that you're looking for exist in our world. And you can have a very, very long-standing, stable career in this industry that's never going to go away. So if you're going to take anything from this conversation, I would leave you with that.
I couldn't think of a better way to end this segment. So we appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. And this is the beginning of a conversation for any students that are interested in learning more about the industry. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.